how it happens, and to see that young man and he mentioned family-owned team, it's pretty much him and his dad for the most part, being swept up in this chain reaction that saw about 4 cars stack up. Hettinger, perhaps one of the first ones to get a little bit of a nudge from behind by Litchfield. Here it is again. In fact, that's Caden Quapple down on the inside of the apron of the racetrack. Suggs was next in line, then Litchfield. Batten gets really sideways, and in the accordion, Phillips gets sent to the outside wall, with Campbell pretty much ending up well underneath the fuel cell of Phillips' car.
Yeah, you take one more look. Hettinger has a car to her inside, and she's running the yellow line, so there's nowhere for Quapple to go. Great job by Brett Suggs to check up for that accident, but you can see just further back, there's no time to react. And when you think about where the spotters are typically here at Hickory Motor Speedway, and I'm looking out kind of to the left of the broadcast booth here, they're spotting off of the exit of turn 4 here in the grandstands. That would be the most difficult place for where that wreck happened to try and call out something happening directly in front of you. And even so, with a big slide, here comes Isabella Robusto, left traffic up the road. Robusto, oh no!
Terrible crash on the front straightaway after Robusto caught the backside of Mike Hopkins' car and slammed the inside wall. Bonsai move by Cruz. Let's go back and see what happened here. You see Loden on the bottom there, about 6 car inside lane at number 43. And it's Litchfield who gets way wide, slaps the wall, just as many have done before him. Caden Quapple bucking like a Bronco through the middle, and Loden gets hooked head on to the backstretch fence.
And I feel like the left rear tire on that 44 was down. I may be wrong looking at that replay, but I think that's what I saw. See it one more time here, going through the corner. You can see the 15 of Baldwin is really loose down there on the bottom, but yeah, that 44 is already having an issue. He's way up the racetrack. I've been wrong diagnosis there on that flat tire, but he gets in the outside wall, pushes off the corner, and nowhere for Caden Quapple to go, and tough for that race car.
Fortunately, at that point, if you're Quapple, you see Whitaker there on the right side of your picture in the 44 with the rear end deck lid ripped off his car. If you're Quapple at that point, you got a car that's going up to the fence in front of you. You've really got nowhere to go. You try to shoot the gap in the middle, and by that time, Loden was only anticipating 1 car to his outside driver's right, and that is a hard shot. Look at a couple of cars there, Blake. I saw you pointing out a few of them that did an amazing job getting through that. But it started here off of 2 with Chase Burrow well off the pace. Connor Jones skates his way through, made slight contact with the wall, and then the accordion behind Bice comes through Riley Gentry to tag Landon Huffman.
And again, another case where Burrow is slow in the middle of the back straightaway, not something you're looking for. Huffman can see it. Fortunately, Riley Gentry cannot, runs into the back of Landon Huffman. Bice goes down low, nowhere for him to go. Of course, those cars that are down there, Gentry stuck in the grass. We talked about how much rain had fallen this morning, so tough for him to get out of that anyway, despite the damage that he has. So it sounded as though down the front straightaway, could hear that exhaust issue. I think it was with Chase Burrow on second look about it, but definitely that last circuit around the last half a lap or so, you could hear it in the booth that one of those cars did not sound like they were running on all 8 cylinders.
Well, you saw William Sawalich there have to get on the binders as Burrow continued to come down the bottom of the racetrack.
Look at Jones.
Jones kept it off the fence, and I stand corrected. Gentry and Huffman made contact before Bice got there. Unfortunately for Laney, there was nowhere else for her to go. And again, this is a team with about 32 to go.
One more look is Wilson. Oh, Wilson caught the wall there side by side with Mason Diaz, and one of the many chain reaction wrecks that we've seen so far tonight, where somebody sees something going on in front of them, they check up for it or change their course to try and react to it. See Tyrell, Bassett, Millington, and Watson as well. Tell you what, Bassett did a good job getting that car woe down. Didn't make that situation any worse. But there's the initial contact. Diaz, not quite clear of Dylan Wilson off of turn number 2. And Bassett, in reaction to that, hits Minnie Tyrell. You can see the left rear goes down immediately for Minnie